Okay, so it's gonna be like this. So we're gonna, in these 2 days, we're gonna collect and harvest questions and answers, and first of all, practice. And before we're gonna go and practice, we might go into the miracle question.
Yeah, that's one of the tools that you have on your handouts that we've discussed yesterday with Leah. And the miracle question is
I don't think it's there.
one of the tools that is like a trademark of solution-focused approach.
There is
Leah
no
has
miracle
framed
question.
it.
Which one is the miracle question? There is no miracle question.
The desired future perfect.
Future perfect is the miracle question.
Yes. No, the miracle question is the question used to bring you to desired future. And I'm just going to explain that now.
So it's a way.
The question to bring you to this. Okay.
Yes. So when you have the platform or the contract established, when you know what you want together with your young person or your client or your person you're talking to, the way how to get to the desired future in a problem-focused world is what the Milwaukee team, Steve and Inshtu, discovered a miracle question, invented a miracle question, basically.
With the client.
With the client. And you have experienced it already. It was in the session of yesterday morning, when you were working in the groups in the dining room, about what would the future look like on the topic that you've been working on. And does anybody remember how Leah framed it, the question?
That you wake up next day and it will, everything will over, it will be okay. Like, what has changed?
Yes, there are the handouts of the miracle question here, how it is framed. And it goes like, so suppose that tonight when you go to sleep, during the night, a miracle happens. Miracle meaning the contract you have, so the best hopes achieved. And it doesn't matter how you get there, that's not relevant at the moment, but it's just relevant that all the problems that brought you there are resolved and the best hopes are happening. But of course, as you're sleeping, you don't know that. And when you wake up the next morning, there is something different because the change has happened. So what is the first sign that you notice when you wake up that will tell you that the change has happened? But you don't know because you've been sleeping. And it's a question that sounds like, well, I can't imagine it is not happening. That's exactly what it is intended for. To create a new future, a new pattern or a new behavior if you want, that wasn't there before, and pin it into a possible option of behaviors that you can use. And then there are a set of questions used after the miracle question, like what will you notice, who will notice, how will that show, what would you do? And this is called exploring the preferred or desired future. And the purpose of it is that if you're, can you use that?
Of course, it's for you.
That if I'm here right now, this is my present situation, my best hopes isn't happening yet, but I want it to happen. And the miracle question brings me to a desired future where my best hopes are happening, and I describe it and I see it in very detail. And the more rich description I build around this, and the more people I bring into this description together with the coach, when I come back to my present moment, is that I don't return to the same place because the change has already happened as a consequence of describing this so clearly. And this has been scientifically proved. There are lots of articles, if you're interested. I have a bunch of them. I can send it to you. And you will experience it when you will do sessions with Arki and Ella today. That it's very difficult to start thinking about. You mentioned it, Gaia, when we did the best scope session over there, how hard it is to think about what you want because you're used to thinking about what you don't want. or you're used to being in the present. This is your reality. But you can, this tool, this question will help you construct your new reality. It's a really, really powerful tool and a really powerful question. I wouldn't go any further than that to experience it. So that was a description. You have it in your handout, how it is framed, and you will see it in the forthcoming days and experience its effects. We will also show you a video or demonstrate it with somebody of you if wanted. So you will get more information about it in practice. So that was just a theory. Any questions on the theory?
Yes, and I was going to say to add to what you were saying, that to make it really useful for the client is to add the what do you notice happening? What would other notice happening? In this case, the person you're talking with describes action rather than say, oh, there is more communication, there is motivation, there is hope, all very good words, but they're on the abstract level. What do you notice? And you asked it in the present tense. You ask the question in the present tense, what do you notice? Not what will you notice? Because the future is there. You are already living in the future. This is important. Present tense and noticing.
Yeah, because if you speak in the future tense, it remains somewhere in the future. You're still distant. You don't connect.
Yeah, because you wake up in the future, actually. This is the miracle question Bibo is talking about.
David wanted to ask also.
Yeah, maybe this question for later, but once I'm using the miracle questions some years now, sometimes only that one question, for example, when we are planning something, and it works for me very well. But once I was very ashamed when I was running into the situation that I went to, it wasn't for coaching, it was for training, and we prepared it, and it was a meeting about what kind of training we should deliver for the client. And then I asked the miracle question, so what kind of outcome he or she would like to see, and then he was like, the miracle question. Okay, I was expecting that. I was like, shit.